out of this mug. It doesn't mean how what your story will be. Girlfriend role, and then you switch into that feminine space, and you switch into wife energy. A husband that is a husband looking for a wife is gonna show up. Once you decide I am a wife, and you gain that femininity plus spirituality plus sensuality, and add that wisdom in there, husbands that are in alignment with that are gonna show up. It's like, put it like this. I remember, and I've told this story before, but maybe not in this way. I remember when I wanted a house, and back in 2003, I had been praying for a house. I've been praying for a house. I was like, I want my kids to be raised in a house, and I want a backyard, right? Once I threw that out there, I never said specifically where I wanted this home to be. I just kept saying I wanted a house and I wanted my kids to be raised with a backyard. It's like the antennas went up out here in search of the reception that was in alignment with what I put out. Next thing you know, I had met this guy on Black Planet. Now, we were just friends. We never dated or anything to this day. To this day, I've only met him for 15 minutes. But I knew him prior to saying I wanted a house. So I threw it out there. Wanted a house. All right? Receptor, the antenna went up. Now that the antenna is up, it's trying to connect with the signal that has a house for me. So, guy I met online, probably knew John probably maybe about a year or so prior, and we were just cool. Wasn't a love connection, so we would talk about the people that we were dating at the time. Hadn't talked to him probably in several months, and I had lost my job. Now, mind you, I said I wanted a house. Lost my job. And ended up going to a shelter for the night because I just didn't know what to do. Because I was staying with a family member, and it was too chaotic, and I needed some peace so I could think. So I went to a shelter for the night. I called John, I was bored. I had my little Metro PCS phone, just bored. I said, let me call John. And I called John. And we were talking, and he was like, what's going on with you? And I was like, I just lost my job, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but, whatever. He calls me back the next morning and say, hey, I got an empty house out there in Georgia. You and the kids can go live there rent-free until you find a job. And I said, what I got to do, be your girl? He said, you fine, but you ain't that fine. I'm just trying to help a sister out. Long story short, he mailed me the keys to the house. It took me 30 days to leave because I ain't had no money. And he was wondering what took me so long. And I said, I don't have no money. He said, how much money you need? I said $300. He wired me $300, my modest self, $300 to drive from California to Georgia. Now, mind you, once again, I'm gonna need a house. Antenna goes up, searching for the house that's in alignment, the answer that's in alignment with my request. Didn't say where. So I drove from Vallejo, California to Fayetteville, Georgia with 3 kids, $300, a 1990 Chrysler LeBaron with a set of keys to a house from a man that I had never met. And he wasn't asking me to be his girlfriend. And to this day, in 2023, we've only met for 15 minutes. And that was for him to make sure that I got in the house safe. Because his job had taken him to another state, and the house was empty, and the house was 2 years old on a golf course. My point in telling you this is, you have to be in alignment with what you say you want so that what you want can be in alignment with you. Once again, what did I say? I said I wanted a house. I didn't say where. April wants a house, antenna goes up, boop. Looking for the signal of somebody or an opportunity that's going to give me the house. Right? Someone that I knew sent me to Georgia with a house with a set of keys. I didn't have to pay rent. He said, you don't have to pay rent until you find a job. So once again, my point in telling you this, for those of you that say you want a particular type of love or a particular type of relationship, you have to be in alignment with that. See, here's the thing. When you say you want something, especially when it comes to love, and you put your antenna out there and you still get messed up signals, that's because you're truly not in alignment with what you threw out there. So your antenna is going to always tell you where you're truly at based upon the reception that it gets. So women that scream, I want a good man, but these men out here ain't blah, 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 blah. And you put your antenna out there. Every time I try, Miss April, well, you got to remember what you are in alignment with at your core, not just out your mouth, is what is going to be attracted to your antenna. So let's say you want something amazing relationship, right? And you mean that thing. You've been doing your inner work. You're open. You're not worried about how it comes. You're just like, this is what I want. And then you throw your antenna up there. That antenna signal is going to signal and try to contact those that are in alignment with this. So you have an open heart. You have an open mind. You're ready for love. Now that signal is going to go out to those that are in alignment with that. The next thing you know, you meet somebody that you never thought you would meet. That's how this thing works. But you can't be throwing out trash in your antenna and then expect not to get no feedback. No feedback. You can't do that. That's why we have these podcasters and men and women going back and forth because of their experiences, because of what their antenna carries. Their antenna doesn't carry the true desire of their hearts because they're afraid to let go of the hurt and pain so that their antenna can be free and clear. Am I making sense, y'all? That's just what it is. So anytime you wonder why you getting what you get, it's like when I was emotionally unavailable. I couldn't be mad that I kept attracting emotionally unavailable people. That was what was the true core of my antenna, regardless of what my mouth said. I just wasn't ready for no relationship. Period. And my antenna was a reflection of that, because I would meet men that couldn't commit, not because they were bad people. They were a reflection of me. They were good people. They were great dates, but they wanted to keep it casual. I couldn't be mad at that. So if you don't like the reception that you're getting back, ask yourself, do I need to change the dial? Because you cannot get to the jazz station being on a hip hop station. You literally have to change the dial to be in alignment with that station, with that frequency, with that vibration, whatever you want to call it. You got to change the station in order to get to that proper channel. And if you remember back in the day when you had a radio, sometimes you had to put a hanger in that thing in order to get it just right so that you can get the right reception. What do you need to make some tweaks on so you can get that right reception to what you want, whether it's better health, whether it's better love in your life, whether it's financial abundance, whatever that thing is. You could be almost there, but it takes you actually having to give up being on the hip hop station. You can't say, okay, I want to listen to the jazz, I really do, but I'm gonna be over here on the hip hop station, so I'm gonna still kind of. No, you're gonna have to just turn the doggone dial. Period. Oh, a spider. Where did he leave and go bye-bye? Oh, goodness. So many of you aren't too far off from what you want, but fear is keeping you from putting that hanger in there and getting all the way on the proper channel. Thank you so much for the badge, Tanya. What makes someone emotionally unavailable? Everything. Anything in their life can make them emotionally unavailable. You know, the traumas of their past. You can say all day that I want a relationship, but you may not be open. I think I have a video called Single But Unavailable. It's so many unavailable single people. They say they want something, but they're so unavailable. They don't have time in their schedule. I'm always on the go. I got this to do. I'm on my purpose. People act like you can't be on your purpose and in a relationship at the same time. You know, my focus, I hear so many men say that. My focus is this, and she got to get in when she fit in. No, you make room to sleep with her, but you can't make room to build something purposeful with her. Get the crap out of here with that. Quit it. That's fear and being unavailable. Women, I'm in school, I gotta take care of these kids, I gotta do this. That's unavailable. So there's a lot of single people that say they want somebody, but their life is not conducive to what they say. You have to make room for what you say you want. So stop BSing yourself. You know, I gotta be on my purpose, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Okay. There's not one way to do purpose. There's not one way to live out what your God-given calling is. There's not one way to do that. There's multiple ways to do that. For example, I used to think I had to do coaching all the time in order to live out my purpose of helping people and helping people solve their problem. Well, I later learned that I could create courses one time and put them up for sale and still help people, still be in my purpose. I realized I could create an app to help women with their femininity without coaching with them one-on-one and still be in my purpose. Okay? So we have to stop looking at everything, you know, straight on and look at there's multiple ways to live in your purpose and to be happy in your personal life. Okay? It's up to you to make that, you know, decision. But so many people, I'm on the go, I'm doing my purpose, I'm on my God-given, all of that. That's beautiful. Be on your purpose, but not at the expense of being a martyr. And you suppress what you truly desire out of fear. Okay? Stop hiding. Why are you hiding? You're hiding. And you're using work. You're using in God's timing. You're using all of these other excuses because you're hiding. And many of you, honestly, are afraid to being loved properly. It can be a scary thing. Thank you so much, you guys, for the badges. What about fear that crumple you from having that? Is that the same as emotionally? I don't think I understand the question. Bottom line like this, put it like this. It doesn't matter what your reason it is that you're emotionally unavailable. You're either going to open up and receive somebody, or you're going to be quiet and be unavailable. And you can't be unavailable, emotionally unavailable, and complain about the opposite sex when you're not. Your antenna is not causing you to align with available people. No, you can't do that. You can't spew hateful things about women and hateful things about men and think, I'm going to put my antenna up here and I'm going to get the most amazing woman and amazing man to come into my life. Stop it. Quit it. You fooling yourself. It's like you want somebody to push past your barriers. They're not responsible for that. They're not. People come into your life to add to your happiness. If you're not happy already, what you want? What you want? How do you become the fear of being loved properly? You make an identity switch. If you do not have my book, Identity Switch, the audio book, or the book, read it. That's where you start. You cannot, and I'll say this again, you cannot overcome being the idea of being loved properly in your current state. You have to become somebody totally different that believe that they're loved, that they believe that they're enough, that believe that they can have and whatever they desire in order to do that. The current person that you're being now cannot receive that. What if what I want doesn't align with my core values? Then is it what you want or what you need? Like, if your core values are not in alignment with something that you want, it's either you stop wanting it or you make it align with your core values. Yes, Samantha, those antennas are reading you better than you are willing to read yourself. Until you change your identity. And see, a lot of times, you know what y'all be trying to get me to do? A lot of times, thank you so much for you give better advice than licensed counselor. Thank you, Alex Harris. I don't know how you got my Cash App and sent me $5, but thank you so much. But what was I saying? Oh, a lot of times what you guys really want from me, let me tell you, I figured it out a long time ago. Instead of making an identity switch, what you guys would like for me to give you is how to function inside of your dysfunction. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. So we have to wipe the slate clean and create a new identity as I am the person that's lovable. I am a person that's wanted. I am a person that's chosen. Let's start right there with the chosen. We all want to be claimed and chosen by somebody. Let's not act. We all want to feel claimed. Women, especially women who operate dominantly in their femininity, we love being claimed and chosen. Because what comes with being claimed and chosen, especially from a masculine man, is protection, provision, being adored, and being respected like a queen and treated like a princess. Sidebar, my new sweatshirt is on the website too. Respect me like a queen, but treat me like a princess. It's out now with the matching mug. You can find a link in the bio. But we all want to be chosen. We all want to be the apple of somebody's eye. We all do. It takes vulnerability and honesty to say that. It takes women saying, I know that I've had to operate dominantly in my masculinity because of whatever the circumstance is, but if I'm honest with myself, I really want to be loved. I'm Alex, your Cash App. Oh, well, thank you, the common sense expert. I appreciate you. We got to be honest, people. Women have to be honest in saying, I want to be a wife, and put a period at the end, not a comma. See, a lot of y'all putting commas. I want to be a wife, but I'm not dealing with blah, 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 blah. You just messed up your antenna. But I don't want to deal with this, and I'm not dealing with that, and you just messed up your antenna. I have a video. I got to find it. I got so much content, y'all. I have a video called Stop Living in the Comma on Facebook. I think I did it maybe in 2018 or early 2000. No, it's 2018, I think. Can you help me with self-love? Join my app, All Things Feminine Social Club. It's all about femininity and learning how to love yourself in a feminine way. You can find it on Apple Store or Google Play Store. It's $14.95 a month. And there are over 100 feminine lady lessons that can help you get on the right path to loving yourself and doing the inner work. But be honest with yourself. Be honest about what you want. What you want can't find you because you're not in alignment with it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today before I go to my mama's house to get Sunday dinner. Okay. April, can you put my P.O. box? I would like to send you something. You can send it to, I'll put it in my stories. But it's 925 B as in boy, Peachtree Street, Northeast, Suite 2170, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309. And it's April Mason, LLC. And you're welcome. Yeah, in the app you can learn at your own pace. See, and that's what I did the feminine lady lesson today, and I told them that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know, enjoy this journey of becoming the new you. Where I get my glasses, be asking me about these glasses, I get them from on these places that be popping up on my Instagram stories, and then I put my prescription in them. This particular pair, I'm not sure where I got these from. I've had them a minute, but it's just they be popping up on my Instagram. And then I put my prescription in them because these are progressives. These are not just for fashion and accessory purpose. Your girl can't see. So yeah, these little glasses. Instagram gets me all the time with stuff that come up on my news feeds. Ladies are always asking me how I change my love. I direct them to you. Oh, thank you. My thing is, my job is to teach people how to transform their lives. Now, Peachtree Street Northeast 2170. Okay, my job is to give people a different perspective on how they can think in order to get what they actually want, versus telling them who to date, how to date. I teach how to date, but when I teach it, it's from just basic human principles. And then you apply them to your personality. And the dynamic, because the dynamic does not, between men and women, the masculine and feminine, it doesn't change. The world keeps trying to change what is, but it doesn't change. And I'm not here to fight that. You take it and you make it your own. Okay, Peachtree Street Northeast number, okay, I'm trying to post it in here, 2170, Atlanta, GA 30309. That's a 4. Hold on, y'all. There we go. And then I can pin it. There we go. What do you do with your adult child argue with us? Nothing. Sitting they behind on their way. Like, bye. Child, I don't argue with my kids. They know I will run away. I ain't got time. You're not gonna mess up my peace. Nope. Skedaddle. I'm just not. What does your optimal first date look like? Something fun and exciting. I don't want to go to dinner. Something that can get us both emotionally charged. So a great day at Six Flags. I normally didn't like going on dinner dates until maybe like the third date. So yeah, something fun and exciting that'll get us emotionally charged. The fair, amusement park, something fun. But I don't want to go eat. You're going to feed me anyway. But I don't want to go to dinner on a first date. The name of it, our app is All Things Feminine Social Club. We have over 2,500 women there. We do have a protocol there, so you can't come with the foolishness, because we do have protocols, house rules, and we don't fuss and argue and tussle. We don't do none of that. That women there come to learn. We don't talk about men, so don't come over there talking about men, because your post will be deleted. Don't come over there with the same like memes, like when people sleep on you, let them sleep. We don't do that. We don't worry about that. Can't speak about men. Nope, no men, because this is not about you embracing your femininity is not about men, it's about you. So I intentionally restrict man talk. Now, we have had a lot of women get married in our app that tell us that they're getting married and show us their pictures, and it's because they learned how to embrace their femininity, and one of the benefits was they met an amazing man that could receive them. And so we like to hear those stories. But yeah, we don't talk about men. If you got questions about men, because a lot of times when women come in there with questions about men, they're trying to learn how to function instead of dysfunction, instead of loving themselves and to know what they should and shouldn't deal with on their own. So if you can join, but make sure you read the house rules, baby, because you can get banned. And we've had women complain, well, it's so strict in there. We can't just post what we want. Yeah, this ain't social media. You can't just do what you want to do over there, because we have a goal in mind. The goal is to get as many women to reclaim their femininity as we can, so they can see the world different. Feminine women live a different life than other women that don't. We just do. It's a different life that we live, and things that we get to experience that a lot of these women on the internet that's complaining, they don't get to experience that. It's like we live in our own little bubble, in our own little world. So when you join the app, if you're looking for like commentary like we're doing now, like this conversation and stuff, you're not going to get that. See, this is entertainment. This is me just, vibing with y'all. Over there, you have to do work. So you don't get all of this over there. You get videos, you get assignments, you get challenges over there that you have to do. They be short and sweet, but you don't get this. So this is just, us vibing on a Sunday. But you have to do work in there. You can't just post pictures of yourself over there just to say good morning. They will be deleted because you're not there for that. It has to be in alignment with what the message is, or something, an aha moment that you had. We're not just going to allow a bunch of pictures, and we're going through, our moderators are going through, we see some of that, we're cleaning that up. You do that on social media. The goal is to make an identity switch. Part of your identity is your routine is normally posting pictures on social media. Well, in our app, there has to be a purpose for that. You cute, but ain't no men in there. We're not trying to, what's your thing? How is this in alignment? How is it in alignment with what was the challenge that was posted? How is this you posting a random picture of yourself talking about good morning, changing your life? You do that for social media. Here, you got some work to do. This is not a regular social media platform. So we've had people say, we can't do this. They limit the content you want. You're right. I sure do. Because you do that over here on Instagram. You make this your playground to post all the cute pictures of yourself if you want to. But no. Absolutely not. So if you're not ready for that level of accountability, the app is not for you. And I make no apologies. And we're not changing the rules. So we've had people come in there and try to buck the system, and they just got put out. And then they go on social media, oh, she's scamming people. No, how? You just didn't want to follow the rules. So now I'm a scam because you don't want to follow the rules? Okay, well, there it is. Oh, she giving women false hope. She ain't this and shit. Okay, well, you just got put out because you weren't listening and you weren't following the rules. So they can call you count me a scam all you want, but the receipts are long and strong for women that actually listen and do the work and stop looking for strategy, over conforming and becoming that woman. Yeah, I don't play no games. So she's scammed. She this. Oh, who'd I scam? Nobody that has come through my programs and said I scammed them. It's always the women that come in wanting strategy and don't want to become, and when they have to go through the process and they can't just come in and get their answers because they're trying to learn how to make a relationship that they shouldn't have been in work, them be the ones. Or it's the ones that has never taken the course or done anything. So I don't pay them no mind. But understand, there is protocol for those of you joining. Yes, the rules keep the space safe while we become vulnerable and really here to know ourselves. Absolutely. So, oh yeah, somebody's a scam where? Not here. No, you're right. But I've heard it before. I've had people create videos. April Mason is a scam. They ain't never took a course. They ain't never listened. Or they wanted to come in and just get strategy. They didn't want to become. So I probably do look like a scam because I'm requiring you to be something different in order to get a different result. They don't want to trust the process. So if you don't want to trust the process, skedaddle. But as you see, I constantly keep posting the ladies that do trust the process. Funny thing is, all of the ladies that are getting married that I keep posting, they're in the app, but we don't talk men. So they're making an identity switch from the inside out. And one of the benefits of that is meeting men that can match their feminine, their masculine. Those men come with their match to that masculine energy, to their feminine. I say haters gonna hate, child. I love them though. Because when you ask them, have you taken her course? Well, I haven't taken it, but have you taken any of her stuff? No, I haven't taken it, but so yeah, it don't bother me. But I just like to make it known for those that are here, that are listening, that want to join the app. Understand there's work that's going to be required of you. Yeah, people don't want to be challenged, and that's my job. My job is to challenge you. My job is not to coddle you, especially when you come to me telling me what you want. Well, the only way I know to get it is this way. So, like I said, what you want can't see you. It don't even know you exist. But it exists. It's kind of like I always say, coffee exists. You just got to get up over there, go over there and go get it. So, that's how that works. Also, married ladies, it's for us too. It's about our femininity. Yes, I get a lot of married women say, do you do anything for married women? Well, femininity is not for single women. It's for all women. Somehow, married women separate themselves when it comes to femininity because they're only equating femininity to being married. Femininity is for you first. The man is an added bonus. And he is gifted with your femininity. Men know that. It's the women that buck the system. Men love femininity. It's like they crave it. So married women think that, and I get it all the time, do you have anything for us? Everything I have is for you. Especially in the area of femininity. It's for you. It's not, you're not separate. Wait a minute. What you say, TT April? You are a freaking living legend. You do ish with your eyes closed and hands tied behind your back. Scam where? This is your ministry, queen. They don't want to invest in themselves. I think, thank you. Let me say that first. I believe what it is people want to get to their answer, not realizing they have to dismantle their old process, the way of processing in order to do that. I can tell you where wonderful men are all day, every day. But what I can send you in a place that's predominantly men. But if you don't know what to do when you get in there, it defeats the purpose. Abby Black says, since following you and your app, I've learned so much about my femininity. I'm aware of what and who allow me to naturally flow into the space. Yes, that's a wonderful feeling. To know you're able to identify the energies that allow you to flow in your femininity, and when you have to put that wall up, it's like, don't feel safe here. So I might be a little bit more assertive because I don't feel safe here. Doesn't mean that you're not a feminine woman. It's just this environment is not conducive of the softer, gentle side of my femininity. Everybody doesn't get the same version of you, and that's based upon the energy of this environment that I'm in. Everybody don't get the same version. And you hear men say, well, if she's feminine, she's feminine. Not with you, because you, my love, don't have safe energy. Your vibe is not safe. And my feminine intuition is saying, warning, warning, warning about you. So Doesn't take away femininity. I just have to be more assertive and more aware. When you are in the energy of a person, a man that is safe, you float like a butterfly. And you don't have to worry about you. You know you're in the space of somebody that got you. You don't have to do that. But it's like it's something that doesn't have to be said. It's felt. Femininity is all about feeling. And when you get in tune with your femininity, spirituality, and your sensuality, including wisdom, because I hate to say it in this day and age, women lack wisdom. God calls wisdom her for a reason, but women lack wisdom. It's like I've never seen such a lack in the area of wisdom ever until over the last several years. It's mind-blowing that women have academic wisdom, academic intelligence, but they don't have womanly wisdom. It's like that Ishton would clean up though. I'm like, where? Wow, how? What? It's not there. So a lot of the things that I do teach, it requires a foundation of wisdom. But if you're not gaining wisdom, in your interpersonal life, or just being a woman, to have that womanly wisdom, ain't it not say gonna make sense? And how do you get wisdom? You get connected spiritually. How do you get connected spiritually? You sit yourself down and you be still and you listen for guidance. You ask for wisdom. That's a whole nother conversation. That's an entirely different conversation. But women today lack wisdom at a rate that it makes me nervous for this next generation, because who's teaching them wisdom when you have 40, 50, 60-year-old women on the internet talking reckless? And they're building up another generation of women that lack wisdom. Men get wisdom from us. Women are the first teachers. But what y'all teaching? What you teaching? Men have always learned from us first, because they come from their mother's womb. Even in the womb, they're learning on the mother's emotional state, the foods that she eats, how she cares for herself. We're teaching while the child is in the womb. We got to get back to wisdom. And it makes me nervous because some of the things that I say, I'm thinking, the person already has a foundation of a wisdom. No. It's not there. So I'm trying to pour into an empty vessel that lacks wisdom to be able to apply. It's because somebody says it's because our mothers gave false realities and escapism. I can vibe with that vibing, goddess. I can receive that. Thank you guys so much for the badges. And so now we have a generation of women, and I'm not talking about these youngins. The youngins can only perpetuate what they saw and what older women are doing. Think about this, and I'm gonna go because I gotta go to my mama's house because she said she didn't cook some food. Think about this. You had the Diane Carrolls, you had the Lucille Balls, you had the Lena Hornes, the Mae Wesses, the Hedy Lamars, the Hazel Scotts, the Diana Rosses. The energy and presentation of those women did not carry on. Notice that? It did not carry on. Women picked up the mantle of the bosses, of the extremely aggressive, I won't even say aggressive, extremely domineering and controlling vibes. Why is it that women didn't pick up with those women back in the day? They were, now mind you, these were very powerful women. On paper, in their careers, in their finances, these were very powerful women. But why wasn't their imagery picked up and that torch carried? Now, if you notice, when women pose, they're not feminine poses like they used to do back in the day. Now it's with the arms crossed. It's this. It's the serious face. It's the pose. It's the don't mess with me. Back then, it was very demure. It was very light. It was very fun. It was very youthful. It was very, very playful. But look at the magazines now. You don't see that. Why was that not mimicked? Just a thought. Who carried the torch of Diana Ross? But there's been people that carried the torch of these women that came out as bad bitches and mimicking them with all of the different color hairs and all of that stuff. Why couldn't they mimic a Felicia Rashad? I won't even say it's oppression. We can't even use oppression. You want to know why? Because even the women that came right up out of slavery, let's look back to the Harlem Renaissance days. Those women had it harder than we have it now, and they were still more feminine with all of the oppression that they had. So we can't even use that. Because the consumers, men didn't care to want to see it. I would have to disagree with that. Men loved Hedy Lamarr. And who's Hedy Lamarr? Hedy Lamarr is the woman that played Delilah, as well as in Samson and Delilah. She also played the woman that Moses had. Moses, I forgot her name, in that movie. Men loved Lena Horne. Men loved Diana Ross. Men loved Diane Carroll. Men definitely loved Mae West. So I can't even use that. Okay? Even Josephine Baker. She was a feminist, but she was soft. See, the thing is, feminism went overboard. I agree with certain parts of feminism. We should be treated equally. We should be getting the same pay. We should be responsible for our own bodies. We shouldn't have to have a bunch of men in a room telling us what to do with our bodies. I agree with that. But I'm going to tell you what it was. We have a lot of men on this here Donald Trump's internet that want women to go back to the old days because they talk about the modern woman. But what they don't realize is the reason why so many women went so hard on being educated and being able to be financially stable, it was pushed by their mothers and grandmothers who were mistreated and oppressed by the men in their lives because they didn't have the ability to walk away. They had to stay because they didn't have any rights. Okay? That's where it came from. Maybe it's the rise of huge single mothers in our communities and having to operate in our masculine. But the only reason why they're single mothers is because there's men that didn't stay around. They're single fathers. You know, so for every single mother, there's a single father. So and a lot of these men that talk about single mothers a lot of them were raised by single mothers. But then they'll get on, you know, Joe Biden's internet and talk about single moms. But your mama was never chosen. Your mother was never anybody's wife. You were a product of a single mother home, a product of father not being there for whatever the reason was. So we have to look at both sides. So for every single mama, there is a single daddy. But we have to remember the reason why, this is just my opinion, why so many women did not carry the torches of the women that I named before that were more softer, feminine, they were powerful, but they did it in a different way, is because in their homes, their mothers were oppressed. Okay? They weren't educated. Back in the day, women had to find the best protector and provider because there was no rights. Imagine being a single woman, and you can't get a credit card without a husband until the 1960s. Okay? They said, don't let men hear that because they say we choose to be single mothers. Some women do choose to be single mothers because a lot of the men, they knew how to plant a seed, but they didn't know how to raise a seed. So I would prefer to be a single mother than deal with your BS. And then there are also women that won't allow a man to be a father. So we have that as well too. So, but at the end of the day, what is going to always be absolute is for every single mother, there is a single father. And just like single mothers don't want to deal with single fathers, there's a lot of single women that don't want to single men that don't want to deal with single mothers. There's a lot of single women that don't want to deal with single fathers. So let's not put the blame on just one gender, because you, as the kids say, you ran up in her with no protection. Well, that ain't what I wanted to say, but you ran up in her with no protection. So you know what could happen if you lay down with somebody when you don't have no discipline and you don't use protection. So for every man that says something about a single mother, understand you chose to have sex with this woman without protection. No matter what you say about her, you chose to put your pee-pee where you should not have. You should have more wisdom. Okay? The Holiness Black King was against the type of femininity. The Holiness Black Church was against the type of femininity you speak of. Their idea of femininity was oppressive. I could agree with some parts of that. I could see that because I grew up in the Holiness Church. So I could see that. And, I used to always question, how is it that we are being oppressed, but yet not one, by these men, but not one book of the Bible was written by a woman. But you want to tell us what we're supposed to do. Make it make sense. I understand. And some of it makes sense, but you say, where are the women, the older women teaching the younger women? But so where are the chapters of women in the Bible teaching the younger women? All of our teachings as those that identified as Christian are about how women are supposed to be come from men. Just like our government. What they want to tell us we can do with our body comes from men. Just saying. But that's a whole nother topic. I gotta go to my mama's house and get something to eat. So we have to look at it across the board. Women's oppression came from men. Think about it. How is it that you are born a human being, your own individual, and there are others? Okay? Somebody said, well, man is the head and the lead. Who told you that? A man told you that. But yet men have been following women since they came out the womb. What are you talking about? I believe in leadership. I believe that the man is supposed to be the direction of the family. But understand, baby, it is not just one way. And a lot of men think because they have a penis that they're supposed to be the head. No, if you can't make a decisive decision, if you aren't spiritually grounded, if you're not a person that can control your emotions, if you're not a protector and provider, if you are not someone that looks after your family, if you're not someone that's not emotionally intelligent, you are not fit to lead anything just because you got a pee-pee. And you are deemed